Hello, friends. When faced with the many problems and negative results caused by the four previous styles of leadership, many respond that obviously the answer is democratic leadership. So we will now continue by analyzing democratic leadership. Democracy has two fundamental characteristics that distinguish it from other forms of government. First, and very importantly, there is an electoral process to determine the leader. There is also a participatory process of decision-making, characterized by a free interchange of ideas. However, in democracy, as it is currently practiced in most countries and places, a few issues arise. With regard to elections, who gets to pick the candidates? And how are they chosen? Unfortunately, campaigns and propaganda do not favor honest, service-oriented candidates. As a result, in many countries, a number of people cast blank ballots because they are not in agreement with any of the candidates. With regard to decision-making, once elected, the leader may model his behavior on the other prevalent styles of leadership, making decisions himself and forgetting the participatory aspect. The leader lets others give opinions, but has the final word. Finally, the exchange of ideas is usually based on partisan interests and coalition building, rather than consensus and commitment to the common good. Is there anything we can do about these problems while still maintaining democracy? Some practices that we could consider are, for bettering the electoral process, using elections without candidates. In this style of election, there are no nominations, candidates, or electioneering. No one tries to influence the vote of another person. Rather, the first step is identifying the capabilities and qualities required for a given position. Then, in a spirit of quiet reflection, each member meditates on the members who can best fulfill the responsibilities implied by the position and votes for them, without telling anyone before, during, or after the election. The result is the election of more capable, service-oriented individuals. This type of election is quite easy to practice on a local level or in grassroots organizations. On regional or national levels, it can also be put into practice using a system of delegates. And how can we better the decision-making process? Rather than seeing others as adversaries and trying to impose our ideas, as occurs in partisan democracy, we focus on the common good, striving to understand the ideas of each speaker and to reach a consensus, practicing deliberative democracy. The results are better decisions in which all support the implementation. How does a leader or coordinator act in deliberative democracy? First of all, she strives to coordinate rather than to impose her own ideas. She recognizes the other members' contributions and waits for their opinions before giving her own. She guides the discussion towards consensus, summarizing the opinions presented. She helps the group to understand the importance of making just decisions that benefit all, rather than fighting for personal interest. And after the decision is made, she involves everyone in the work in order to train others and to develop their capabilities. Now we can compare the degree to which partisan democracy and deliberative democracy fulfill the three group functions that we saw at the beginning of this course. With regard to unity, when partisan democracy exists, there is factionalism. Each party tries to dominate and put down the others. However, in deliberative democracy, there is mutual empowerment because it seeks the well-being of all. With regard to the goals, In partisan democracy, the achievement of the goals is affected by the lack of unity and the opposition of other parties. In deliberative democracy, the goals are more easily achieved because of the practice of unity and diversity. And as far as developing capabilities go, partisan democracy does not put any emphasis on this. In deliberative democracy, assisted empowerment helps new people to develop capabilities so that the total organization is in a constant process of growth. However, we can still ask ourselves, is deliberative democracy enough? Or are there other capabilities that a leader needs, such as vision, initiative, integrity, justice, and encouragement? What do you think?